I used Aurora to post what was, at the time, a world-leading score in the airtime category of Red Bull paper wings. So, you know that this is one of the best paper airplanes I have ever published. Let's get into the video. Now, as you can see, Aurora has this very unique shape to it. It's got a diamond profile, which is very atypical, and you can see it is extremely aerodynamic as well. And it has reinforced leading edges, which means you can throw this glider, which has very wide wings, almost as hard as you want. And that is the key to its excellent performance. Now, I have designed a template for this plane, so if you support me on patreon.com/foldableflight, you can fold a plane that looks like this rather than using a regular sheet of paper. And there are now over 70 different templates available to my patrons, so that is just an excellent deal. And with all of that out of the way, let's see this plane in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold it. All you'll need in order to fold this plane is an A4 sheet of paper, or you'll need to trim down your 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper by cutting 3/4 of an inch off the side to make it just a little narrower. You're also going to need a ruler and a pencil, and I will be referencing some measurements here, so if you cut your 8.5 by 11 sheet down, be sure to use the measurements I put on screen rather than what I say. And with that said, we're ready to fold this plane in half, and we're actually going to fold this edge here to that edge there. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and open the paper up. And I'm going to fold this top edge here to the bottom edge. And I'm just making a little pinch crease right at the middle point, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and now fold the top to that reference point. And again, just make a pinch crease. And now I'm folding the top to that pinch crease, and I will crease all the way across this time. Okay, and now I'm going to rotate the paper and fold this edge here to my middle pinch crease, right like so, and just create another pinch crease. So now if I'm looking at this bottom pinch crease here, I want to fold from that point to this point out here where this horizontal crease intersects the edge. So I'm going to rotate my paper, and I'm actually going to crease from this point up here to that point and not go beyond it. I just want to crease to this center crease here. So you'll see as I do this, when I place this crease, you can see I'm going right to that point there. And once you do one side, I like to kind of flip the paper over and just pick this up along that center crease as the hinge. Again, I haven't creased any farther there, but I just swing this like that and land this corner on the other corner, and then land this corner here on that corner there, and that lets me make the other crease exactly as I made the first crease. Okay, so now if I open the paper back up, you can see we've got these converging creases that are identical. And now I'm going to just kind of reach behind and pop this point up here and fold the plane in half. And I'm going to stand this flap here, and I want to squash fold it so that this center crease here lands right along the edge of this layer. And I'm actually going to put the crease just to the right of that layer there. So here is my crease you can see I'm aiming just off the edge of this layer. And now I can go ahead and flip it over and fold this side just like so. And flatten it nicely. And now I'm going to fold right from the point where you can see this layer here is catching and wrapping around to the other side. I want to fold from that point to this back corner. So I'm going to just pull this first layer like so. And be really careful. I just kind of pull to that point and I swing this until I'm pointed right at that back corner. And I kind of gently get it into alignment before I actually make a solid crease. Right like so. And then I'll flip it over and fold this side to match the other side. Okay, and now I can open that up and put the plane in this position here, and I'm just going to continue this crease all the way through that edge, and then I can close it back up along this crease here, like so. And I'll flip it over and do the same thing over here. So I'm opening this up, continuing this crease all the way to the edge, and closing up along this crease here. Okay, now I'm going to highlight another crease for you. You can see this was that top crease we made. And give me a second to kill that ant. This was that top crease. And we're going to be creasing from this point here to 1 centimeter above this back edge. And if you're just doing this casually, you can estimate. If you're trying to make a competition-worthy plane here, go ahead and measure. So we're going to do just one wing at a time. I want to kind of find that point and crease right to this point here. Trying to make this line as straight as possible. And you'll see this very often happens where the crease on this layer doesn't land perfectly on the crease in the layer behind. Go ahead and take the time to line that crease up as well and make sure that they are creasing right along the same line. Just like so. And having done one side, you can release that, flip it over, and fold the other side to match. So again, I'm looking at this point here and 1 centimeter above this corner right here, but I can also just look at the crease on my other wing and match this one up. So I'm looking to that crease right there and trying to land this new crease right along it. Getting that front section to be identical is also important, so I need to be checking that front. Making sure that's identical on either side. And again, I'm going to go ahead and open up that layer right like that and make sure that this edge is landing right along that crease that I have. Okay, and now you can see we kind of have this awkward scenario where we've made some creases and the plane doesn't lie flat. So I'm going to kind of grab this whole fin here and push it to one side and lay the plane down in this kind of bowl shape here. And I want to fold right from this point here to 3 centimeters from this corner. So I'm grabbing my ruler again, measuring out 3 centimeters. And that is the point I will fold to, and I'm going to end up doing it on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead while I have my ruler and mark it on this side as well. Okay, and now I am folding from this point right up here where the layers get trapped to that point 3 centimeters from the corner. And I'm trying not to have this crease curve. You really want a straight line here as much as you can achieve it. And while I have it like this, I'm going to go ahead and pull these layers here right over that edge and just crease all the way to the center. And then I can go ahead and release that. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. And pull those layers right like so. And the cool thing is now I can fold that right like that on this side, and then I can tuck these in on this side and fold both sides in. So your plane now looks like this, and you've got a rabbit ear right in the middle, which you can stand and then just fold over right like that. And then fold it in the other direction. And then perform a squash fold by standing it and squashing it just like so. Now this step is just a little tricky, but basically we want to take these tabs of the squash fold and tuck them inside the pocket. So I need to reverse 2 creases. You can see I've got this crease that represents the spine of this flap, and then this crease here. I need to reverse both of those, so I'm just kind of opening this up and forcing that side in so that crease gets reversed. And then when I close this up, the other crease gets reversed. And you can see that side now is really nice and clean. So I'm just going to open up this other side, reverse both of those creases, and then close it back up. Okay, and now I'm going to rotate this. I want to fold these 2 points here so that they land on 2 points right at the front of the plane. Grabbing all the layers. Once both of those corners are kind of touching the leading edges of the plane, I crease across. And now I need to reverse that crease to tuck all these layers inside and behind. And it's a little tricky to reverse this really cleanly because there are several layers there, and they might even want to spread apart as you do that. But if you gently kind of prepare the crease to reverse, then when you actually go to tuck the layers behind, and they should go inside all the other layers, it's not as difficult. And you want to try and make sure as you do this, it's hard because you're opening it up, try to make sure that these layers here don't spread apart. That's going to allow the 2 sides to kind of pull open. Keep those together as you do this. It might even help to kind of curl this a little bit as you fold right like so. And now gently flatten everything out. And we can stand this nice and vertically. And we're ready to fold little winglets. And there's no measurement that I've come up with for this, except that you're looking about, you see this length, there's a really slight angle change between this edge here and there. I like to look right at halfway between that, and I'm just estimating here. And I fold straight back so that the crease I make is parallel to this central fuselage. So I'm just starting right there and estimating what parallel is. I can look and I feel like that's pretty close, but I'm a little narrow in the back, so I would just adjust that crease a tiny bit. And once you do one side, you can do the other side. The problem is you can't easily fold this plane in half. I wouldn't recommend that you even try. So you're going to have to estimate again on the other side. So I'm looking at what I think is halfway along this length. And then I'm folding a little winglet that is hopefully parallel to this. Pretty close, but again, I think I need to widen it just a little. And there you go, you have the fins now. So we are almost done with this plane. In terms of the folding process, we are done, but it is time to set the wing angles and talk a little bit about how to properly balance this plane. So you can see these layers at the front like to stand off the plane a little bit. And what that does is it creates a lot of downforce on the nose of the plane. And that's a good and bad thing because this plane's actual balance is a little bit tail heavy. It will swoop up if these, say you took tape and adhered those perfectly to these layers below them. This plane is going to climb and stall, and so that's a problem. But if you're not using tape, then you really want to control how much that steps away, how much of a gap exists there. And you can reduce that gap actually by adding a little dihedral angle to the wings. So you see that the layers adhere more closely when you do that. The problem is now that's creating less downforce on the nose of the plane. So it's going to again climb and stall if you fold it exactly like this. But now that it's going to stall, we need to do a little bit of adjustment. So you're going to need to pull forward just a little bit, and that little bend is going to create downforce. Air is going to push off of it and force the nose down a little bit, and that's what you want to do on both sides. And I know that's very atypical, but that is how you control the balance of the plane. So now you can see there's a little more drag on the front, which I know is disadvantageous in some ways, but that's going to improve the balance of this plane so that it flies nice and level. And whether you want to just have this glide across a room or you want a really good airtime with this plane, having it fly really nice and level with a nice gentle throw is the key. And once you've kind of adjusted these bumps to be the right size on either side, that you're achieving that, that's when you can throw it really high in the air. And I mean, honestly, you can throw this plane pretty much as hard as you want, really high into the air, and you're going to get those flights that are more than 10 seconds long. So if you do find that the plane is diving down, you just reduce the size of the bubbles like so, and that's how you kind of reverse that adjustment. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I think this is one of the best planes I've ever made. Good luck flying it, and I will see you next time.